Good morning, good morning. Happy Friday. There it is. All right. Good morning. Happy October. Here we are, Friday. And it's almost 10 o'clock. Running a little late this morning. I was looking for, I was going to try to connect my router directly to my laptop so that we could maybe try to avoid some of the buffering that I've been experiencing on Fridays. And I can't find my adapter to connect the cable into my computer to change the ends. So I have some errands to run when we're done here today, and so I will stop and pick up one of those adapters, and then I'm sure I will find 3 of them here in the house, because you know how that goes. But our stamp camp, our virtual stamp camp for Stampin' Up! Is tomorrow, and I was trying to have a little bit of a better video experience for those folks, and I was going to try to have it ready for us today, but we might have to wait until next week. Hopefully it goes okay tomorrow. So I hope everyone's doing good. I'm Diane. Thanks for stopping by. Last week we played with distressed ink pads and silhouette cards. So in keeping with my new plan to use some of my products that I have that I don't use, today we're going to use distress sprays. And I only have a few of those, and I have used those in the past. But with the holiday releases, I got Tim Holtz Distress Mica Stains in some really pretty colors. And so that's what I'm going to try to play with today. In one, I think it was in the Halloween package that I had gotten. We also got a splat box. Usually I just use a cardboard box to spray paint in, to spray my inks in. So I'm going to try out my splat box. I don't have card dimensions because what we're going to do is use quarter sheets of a regular sheet of cardstock. So I took an 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock and I cut it to 4.25 by 5.5. So I have 4 panels. And I chose some darker colors because the distress ink is going to show up pretty on dark colors. We know ink makes white backgrounds look beautiful, but we're going to try some on the darker colors. These will be the panels then that we can use to put on our card bases. So I don't know what color I want my card base to be until we see how our inks come out. So let's just go right to the splat box so you can see, hopefully, come on. There it is. Yay! Okay, so this is my splat box. And I actually did, I had a little spoon here, and I sprayed the spoon because it's wood, and I wanted to see how this spray was going to work on wood. I have some little wooden boxes that I think I want to make into some treasure boxes for the craft fair. And I was thinking if these mica sprays looked pretty on that, I might use that. So it kind of does. I also have set off to the side here my cut and emboss machine because, let's turn the light around here to make that a little bit better. Because after we've sprayed some of these, I think we'll emboss them. And I pulled out all sorts of different embossing folders. Let me get my iPad out of the way here. Anything I could find that had to do with holidays, I just pulled them out. So I have some Night of Navy paper. Oh, those are actually a couple of cuts. Night of Navy. I have some shaded spruce, evening evergreen, and black cardstocks. And I thought we'll try these and see how they go. So I wanted to share this with you because maybe you're new to distress ink, as I am. You know, I don't, as I've said before, I have some of these things and I don't use them enough to be comfortable with them. So it's time to remedy that. And, you know, what's the fun of having this stuff if I'm not going to play with it? Okay, let's get rid of these things so I don't get ink on them. Hopefully this little splat box will contain what we're doing. And then as far as embossing folders, I have, so I don't even know where I got a lot of these. This is an old Cuttlebug Christmas tree. I found snowflakes, poinsettia. I think this came in a crafting magazine one time. This makes a little outside border. What's this one? This one looks kind of like a poinsettia, maybe lily type. I think I used this as a poinsettia once before. We'll see. Santa Claus over a house, a snowman, and I have the Stampin' Up! Birch trees. I thought that might be pretty for an autumn card. A seasonal wreath, some more snowflakes, a spider web, and the evergreen forest, lovely trees. This is just a tree with branches, so I suppose you can make that fall or whatever. A harvest embossing folder, a witch. This is just some tall grasses. I thought that would be pretty for autumn leaves, and pine cone. So we'll see how our colors turn out, and that would probably determine whether it's going to be a Halloween, an autumn, or let me get these out from behind the box now so I can see them, or a Christmas card. I also have a little spritzer bottle of water because we're going to wet our cardstock, I think. I'm not sure. We are. I don't know how it's going to work, but we're going to try it. So let's start off with just a piece of black. This is just our, excuse me, basic black cardstock. Again, it is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches. And since I've had the Halloween ones the longest, let's try some of these on the black. And these colors were Crooked Broomstick, Empty Tomb, Flickering Candle, Bubbling Cauldron, and Hocus Pocus. These are mica stains, and they have little ball bearings in them that you need to shake side to side to get the mica mixed up into the pigment. And then with these little spray bottles, if you spritz them lightly, I think you get splotchies. Yes, and if you spritz them the whole way down, you get more of a spray. So we're going to do a little bit of both. And see how this comes out on our paper. So that is Hocus Pocus. Let's add a little bit of Bubbling Cauldron because I'm thinking with the purple, this is probably going to make a cute little witchy embossed panel. And, okay, Bubbling Cauldron. And you can see how with these sprays, the green covers over the purple. I don't know if I want to add another color to this. Let's see. This is Empty Tomb. Come on, come on. Why aren't you spritzing for me? I know you want to. Maybe we have to use crooked broomstick. There we go. Oh, geez, I just sprayed my, embossing folders. It's a nice black. Okay, let's try and do that in the box. Cool. Now I'm going to just spritz it with a little bit of water because I don't know what that's going to do. And set it aside to dry. Okay. So we'll put this off to, oh, I think it's going to be cool. I don't want to use too much water because this is just cardstock. I'm not using watercolor paper. And so if I get this too wet, it's going to just be a mess. And while that's drying, we'll do another one here. Let's use the flickering candle and the crooked broomstick on the green and see how that looks. I know you can get cardstock a little bit wet because a lot of times it's recommended that you spritz your cardstock before you put it through your embossing machine so that your cardstock gets a good impression. And I don't always do that. I've never really had a problem embossing without dampening my paper, but I know a lot of people do it, so it's not going to hurt the paper at all, but we don't want to get it so wet that, oh, that looks coppery. I like it. A little bit more yellow on top. I think I like these mica stains. They have that beautiful shimmer to them. I don't know, do I want to add any water to that one or just I think I'm going to let that one go. Set that one aside to dry. And I don't think they take very long to dry. And I can use the heat tool to speed that up if we're in a really big hurry. But I'm not in a big hurry. Now, if you were really making a 15-minute card, you could just take your panel of paper, spritz it with your stains. I love how these blend together. I think I should be, I think it's recommended also that we wipe the nozzles off when we are done spraying so that they don't clog up. And then all you would have to do would be take this panel, heat it with your heat gun to make sure that it's nice and dry, and it's ready to run through an embossing folder. Add a sentiment on the front, glue it to a card base, and you would be good to go with a card. So, let's see, put that one aside. And then let's try some of the Christmassy color ones while those are drying. I'm just going to do several of these so that we can emboss everything kind of all at the same time as well. This one is peppermint stick. Assembly line style, I guess is what I was trying to think of. Look at that. What would be pretty with peppermint stick? We have winterberry. Oh, I got my finger. I also have this one is brushed pewter. I wonder if I want to put that on after it's dry though. I don't know. I don't know what difference it will make, truly. let's do a blue one. And then we'll have several ready that we can emboss and turn into cards. How about, oh, let's do blue on our Night of Navy background. Look at that. Pretty colors. Nice. Snow flurries. Frosted juniper looks sort of bluish green. And I thought there was another one. I could be imagining things. Okay, let's start with frosted juniper is the darker. And let's add some snow flurries to that. I also had to run around this morning. I still had things to put away from, we finished our holiday stamp stack last night. So I had everything downstairs at my kitchen table for the ladies to use to make their holiday cards. So I was still putting all that stuff away this morning so that I had my glue and adhesives and everything up here that we would need since my crafting area is upstairs. And that is why it's been a little bit of a challenge to get a decent connection to the router to hopefully improve our transmission here. Because I think, can you see how cool those colors are? Once they dry out, I'll try to get them up here. Oh, that's kind of running now. That's sort of pretty. And this is just water that I'm spritzing on here and letting it kind of run together. Ooh, that looks almost like a winter storm. So anyways, I'm sorry, I digress. My router is on our first floor. Our modem is connected in the basement. I'm on the second floor at the completely opposite end of the house from the router. And so that's why my upline suggested that I try to connect directly to the internet. Well, that's easier said than done. I'm trying to set this aside to dry so we can emboss. So anyways, oh good, it's all right. I did get a longer cable that I will run the entire way downstairs to try to connect this. All right, well, I guess before I get this out, let's look at it. Let's look at our first one that we did with the Hocus Pocus. Look at that shimmer. Does this light make it better or worse? Hubby gave me a new light. Do I want to add anything on that? I don't know that I do. I want to put that one through that witchy. Where'd she go? I think she would be pretty. So when you're using an embossing folder, there is a part that sticks up, and then there is an indented part, a debossed side. So when I lay my paper in here, and this is a little bit damp, so that's probably good, I'm going to lay it with my embossed side up so that it pushes up through my paper. And then when I take my paper out, I hope I'm saying this the right way and not doing it backwards, because if I do it backwards, my witch is going to be debossed, and I don't want her to be debossed. I want her to be embossed. I want the cauldron to, maybe I want the cauldron to be green. Let's turn this way. All right. And embossing folders are different thicknesses depending on the brand. This is a Doris brand, which would have come then from our old Pat Catan store. And so this needs to be layered between 2 embossing plates, I believe. Yes. And then some of the thicker 3D embossing folders only need our base plate and then the thick embossing plate on top. So you may have to experiment with your embossing machine and your plates to see with each folder what you might need. And she is nice. Okay. That's fun. I'd like to get some of these done. It's still a little bit damp. That's why I'm trying to handle it carefully. I'd like to get some of these done so that I can have them for the craft fair in a couple weeks here. I meant to grab out my white pigment ink because I think we can use that to highlight certain areas if we want to. So this would be kind of fun to put just on maybe a purple background, and maybe we'll add some rhinestones to it with just a little Halloween saying. That might be fun. Where did I put that pewter? I also have Perfect Pearl still. We use those, if you remember, on the silhouette cards. It's going to take a little bit to dry, I believe, because it has, I kind of put a little bit of paint on that one, I guess. Let's see if Witchy likes a little bit of pewter. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that. I don't know. Weird. It's not the best embossing folder, I gotta say. It's not my best quality one. Maybe the next one here we'll use a good, blue's coming out so pretty. I'm gonna have to move this whole mat because I don't want to set my embossing machine on top of that. Let's trade sides. So these could dry. And let's get a better one out here with, that's Doris too. Ooh, we have the spider web. Let's try the spider web with this Hocus Pocus and Flickering Candle. And this is a Stampin' Up! Embossing folder. Also it has a raised side and a debossed side. So I'm going to lay this in here with my paper on top of the raised side. Just close that up. I'm going to layer this through my emboss machine. Always put your folded side of your embossing folder through first so that the pressure of the machine doesn't crack your folder. And is this a 3D one? It is a 3D one. So I think, what do I need on this? Just the blue one. Just the blue one, yes. I can feel the difference as soon as you go to put it through your machine. You can feel the pressure that it's applying, so you'll know you have the right sandwich for your project. There. Oh my goodness, I like this one. Oh, look at how pretty is that? So let's make this into a card, just to show how quickly this could be done. The problem is you're going to enjoy doing it so much that you'll never get anything done in 15 minutes. And I think I will add that. Do I want it on black? Or I like it on the black. I think that flickering candle just shows up like it's golden. It's beautiful. Very, very pretty. Okay. So let's take an 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock, and we'll cut this in half at 5.5. Score this at 4.25. Fold this in half. Give it a little burnish to make sure we have a nice edge. And then we'll trim this down. Oh, you see, we have to dry it. I don't want it to tear in here. Oh, I did have a couple more stains down here. I thought I was using these. Jack-o'-lantern and antique linen. Oh, that was antique linen spray and mica jack-o'-lantern. See, I knew I was playing with one yesterday and I couldn't figure out where it went to. All right, I'm going to use my heat gun and give this just a little bit of drying. So I apologize for the noise. It's kind of loud. Let's see if that was enough that we can trim this down. Maybe feels better. So let's give this one, because it's so pretty, I don't want to cut too much off. So we'll do 4 1/8. I'll just give it a very slight black border on the base by 5 3/8. Oh, good, that worked. Didn't tear it up. Yay! We'll glue this onto our, there it is, onto a card base. And remember, when we emboss paper, it's probably your best bet to use a liquid glue rather than a tape runner, unless of course you're using foam dimensionals, because you want your glue to get down into all those little nooks and crannies. Make sure my card's opening in the right direction. That on here. like it. Then, see, half of my stuff's still scattered around. Trying to find, there we are. We have some pretty holiday rhinestones. Oh, that. That we can add, and let's just make a quick little, how about maybe just a small black strip? Yep, I just threw them all over the floor. That was what I did. That's what you heard. And my little black scraps are sprinkled everywhere now. And let's just use these are big. That's not going to work on there, D. Yep. Let's just use Wicked. I didn't leave ya. Since we've already got the heat gun warmed up, I have my stamp pad out. We'll use our anti-static bag here, a little embossing buddy. Wipe the paper so that my embossing powder is only going to stick where I want it to stick. Stamp Wicked. And use some white embossing powder. I'm going to trim around that when I'm done. I moved my a little grid paper there, so now I have everything all over my table. And let's just heat this with our heat gun. After I wipe this off so I don't emboss my table. Once your heat gun is warm, it really doesn't take long at all to emboss. Cute. Oh, I'm so happy I kept my cutting plate out here. Like I said, I really hadn't planned on die cutting anything, and I hadn't planned on heat embossing anything, but here we are. You want to make sure that after you heat emboss, I'm sorry, I'm a little off screen there. After you heat emboss, make sure your embossed powder is dry before you die cut, because if it's still a little bit warm, you're going to flatten out your embossing. Carefully take off my washi tape so I don't rip my label. Wait, I'm going to use my microfiber cloth and just wipe off that leftover embossing buddy powder that was on there. And I think I will add dimensionals to this one if I can find them. Oh my goodness! Telling you, we had everything everywhere last night. Oh, maybe I didn't bring them up yet. I have older ones. We'll use the old kind, the old-fashioned ones I had here. And there's a will, there's a way. These old foam ones are sticky on the bottom, but when I take the release paper off, they aren't very sticky, but we'll just add a little bit of adhesive or a little bit of liquid glue to that. Oh, that's not even sticking. It's because they're old. I think these are from my beginning days of card making. We'll just take off that backing, hopefully. And I'll use glue on that as well. So is everybody excited for the weekend? I actually, if you remember, I was traveling last week. I didn't even get to participate in World Card Making Day. I missed making cards. Wicked. That pretty much sums that card up, doesn't it? Yeah, I like it. Not crazy about those foam panels, but I do like the card. I saw some beautiful pictures of people were posting from their World Card Making Day. And I was feeling a little bit bad because I missed it. But next year, I'll just use some of these amber colored rhinestones. How about that? Are those sprays amazing? I like it. See what else we got. What else did we come up with here? We have, I don't know that I'm crazy about that little witchy embossing panel. I don't know what I'll do with that. This one is gorgeous. And we also had this one. And Oh, the blue one is drying a little bit. That one, that's pretty. This would be pretty too. White heat embossed snowflakes on that. I might have to do that. But I'll put a piece of paper under here. I'm not going to throw embossing powder all over the place. Okay, let's see. Oh, that's all my rhinestones down here. So look what we did for 5 little panels. Well, I certainly have more to play with up here, don't I? I always do, though. Yeah, that's never ending. Let's move my little wicked stamp. Baby over here out of the way. And let's make an autumn card. How about these? I don't know how well this is going to work because this is just another Doris. Well, let's give it a go. It's only paper. If I don't like it, I'll make a different kind. I don't know what I'm going to do with that one. This one I think I do want to use as leaves. I think it looks like it should have a little more orange and green. I don't know. Let's see what it looks like after I put this through the embossing machine. All right, let's take out the cutting plate. I don't need that. Oh, that's nice. That's really pretty. I think I would like a little more brown. So let's add, I'm afraid if I use like walnut stain, it's going to be too dark. Oh, we have vintage photo. Let's see how dark this looks. That's pretty dark. I think I can wipe it off if it gets on here too much. Find out. Ready? And maybe we can add a little bit of that pumpkin one. Where did it go? Jack-o'-lantern. I also didn't put my paper pad back on here. And how about a little, let's add some green. Let's try the holly branch. Afraid to touch it. I don't want to mess it up. I like how the colors just kind of soak into each other. And this is water. I was just trying to bring some of that green out a little bit more on there. And you know what? I see that orange coming out more. That's really pretty. Where did I put my, I think I need a new towel. I used that other one on the embossing powder. Dab it. I can. There's this one. That's really pretty. But we're going to let that one dry so I can trim it down. And then I think I'll layer that onto maybe either orange or brown. I don't think the brown does anything for it, really. Not that brown anyways, maybe darker early espresso type brown. Pumpkin pie. Oh, that certainly does bring it out a little bit. Let's grab a dark brown early espresso and see how that one looks. Oh, I think I like it on the orange the best. Maybe an orange panel on the darker card. Pretty? Yes. I do believe that's where we'll go with this one. So that one will have to get trimmed down. Oh, I need that to dry. And we're almost out of time, and I only got 5 panels made and 1 completed card. But you see how, if you don't get too involved in this, how quickly you could just take your cardstock, spritz it with your spray, decide what color of a background you're going to use, and add a greeting on there. Let's add that one onto a, where are you? I know I have some Rococo Rose left. I think that might be pretty. And if you are really in a hurry and don't have the time to stamp out your sentiment or your greeting, look for, they're available in so many places, and I even have, and I was looking for the autumn ones. I have some autumn ones from Stampin' Up! From our one paper pumpkin pack that I had, of just the words. Sentiment strips, I think they're called. And I did pull some out, and do you think I know where they're at? Ooh, they're here somewhere. Oh, right in front of me. I was going to say, I know I pulled them out so that we could do one quickly. So we had, let me see. Oh, I had die cut best wishes left over. Had, these are just words from a digital down. Oh, see, there's one from Stampin' Up! In there. I have a whole bunch of them, and I don't know where they're at. And these are just strips with words on them that you don't even have to worry about stamping. Where the rest of these are at. And they were autumn. Here's some Christmas ones. Get this on here. It's not going to be rain or shine on this card because this is... Yeah, can you believe that started out as a piece of black cardstock? Look at how gorgeous. I don't know if I don't think I want to emboss it. I could emboss it with snowflakes. Or the wreath. Oh, a wreath. And then you know what? Then you could add little beads or whatever on the wreath to look like berries. Yeah. Would be pretty on there while I'm doing this. Silver, of course, and trying to center the wreath on that because I want to keep as much of that beautiful background as I can. Oh, and you know what? From the Hydrangea Haven Sweet, there were some beautiful pinks and purple pearls in that. And I may have some of those left. Still feel this to be a little bit damp, but I think it'll glue okay. Hope it stays. Excuse me. Oh, I didn't trim it down. Oh yeah, I did. For a minute I thought I left it the same size as my card base. Are these Christmas as well? No, these are Christmas. Oh, and they're all different. Of course. How about sorry, there's so many to read. Oh my. A delicate coat of frost. No, I don't like that for that one. Sorry. Oh, let's just put Merry Christmas on this one for right now. I just don't know what else I would want to say. And of course you could get fancier with these if you wanted to. You could layer them onto a piece of your coordinating cardstock. And then use some dimensionals to pick that up on the front a little bit. That would be fun. Oh, let's see, where's the, oh, right there. Is it going to be too big, I think? My hands are all shimmery from that mica stain. I have really pretty hands right now. Oh, look at the pink. Yes. Let's just put flip over. And yes, these are a couple different shades of pink. Oh, you know what? I'm going to put a silver one on that one. Wow. These stains are pretty cool. So yes, if you were considering trying some of those mica stains, I would say yes, it's going to be worth it, because these would be so quick and easy just to do a card like that. And I'd love to show you the other one that I finished, but I don't know where I put it. Oh, right there. So we have Wicked, we have a Christmas one done, and I'm going to do a Thanksgiving one out of this one, which is still pretty wet since I added more to it. And this one we had quite a bit of ink on it as well, but I'll make that into snowflakes. I hope that inspired you. My hands are just so pretty. Look at all that shimmer on there. Yeah, so it was great having you stop by on a Friday. Enjoy your weekend, and next Monday we'll be back on Facebook with our normal Hello Monday, Stampin' Up! Facebook Live. So I hope to see you then. Enjoy your weekend, everyone. Thanks.